The FISA court-approved spying on Carter Page was a legal smokescreen. Sure, his name was on the search warrant, but the Obama administration's real target was Donald Trump and his inner circle. Now you might ask, how does going after Page allow the FBI to spy on Team Trump? Through what's called the two-hop rule, and that's the focus of this report. The FBI invaded Carter Page's life. It did so with a FISA warrant. That warrant aimed the government's most powerful surveillance weapons at him.
Once you get that type of surveillance on a FISA warrant, you get everything. You get phone calls, you get wiretaps, you get phone call records, you get email records, you get text messages, but you also get access to all the other people that he or she is communicating with. So the answer was, they got everything. They got content, they could get content if they wanted it, and they got all the telephone numbers and everything else that they wanted. It was a massive, massive illegal spying effort.
They don't just get everything they want against Carter Page. They get everything they want against every person who communicated with Carter Page and against every person who communicated with that person. So it goes out what's called two hops.
We'll look at these hops one at a time. The first hop spies on everyone in direct contact with Page by phone, email, or text. Who might those people be? The answer to that question is in Page's new book, Abuse and Power. Page writes about his direct contacts by phone and email with Steve Bannon, who held various campaign posts, including chief executive, Corey Lewandowski, who was, for a time, campaign manager, Sam Clovis, the national co-chairman for Trump's 2016 campaign, Stephen Miller, senior policy advisor during the campaign and ever since, and Hope Hicks, communications director for the campaign. These five played important roles in the Trump organization. Page had phone conversations or traded emails with all of them. The result? The FBI's first hop surveillance invaded their lives. The FBI spied on their calls, texts, and email records, all of them, not just those with Page. What happened next? FBI surveillance hop number 2. It went even deeper into the campaign. It spied on everyone in touch with these five. That figures to be every key Trump advisor. So the second hop no doubt spied upon campaign manager Kellyanne Conway, National Security Advisor General Michael Flynn, Vice Presidential candidate Mike Pence, major Trump ally Senator Jeff Sessions, plus the candidate's son, Donald Trump Jr., the candidate's daughter, Ivanka, the candidate's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, future First Lady Melania Trump, and of course, Donald Trump himself. He and all of the rest of these close advisors and confidants were spied upon by the government. The FBI's second hop surveillance invaded their lives, monitoring calls, text, and email records.
It was a massive, massive illegal spying effort.
Two hops from Page put the whole Trump campaign under surveillance.
They used the Carter Page FISA to get his access to all the other people that he was communicating with. In essence, they were spying on hundreds of people, not just Carter Page.
Page left the campaign before the first FISA was issued in late October 2016, but the FBI spying authority was retroactive.
The main reason they were going for the FISA warrant initially was to go back historically and seize all his emails and texts and all that stuff from back months and even years. So they were covering the period that he was in the campaign, and that's exactly the reason they went for the FISA, to get that stuff.
After months of surveillance, the FBI found nothing on Page. Still, the Bureau kept up the spying. However, two FBI supervisory special agents wondered why. They believed continued spying on Page was a waste of time. See the Inspector General's report, page 212. The agents believed Carter Page was a distraction in the investigation and was not critical to the overarching investigation.
We even have in here in the report a reference on page 212 where we've got agents talking with one another about why is Page even a subject anymore. Carter Page, we're not finding anything as to him. Why aren't we reassessing?
The FBI repeatedly ignored information that weakened its case against Carter Page. That's the finding of the Inspector General for the Department of Justice.
We concluded that as the investigation progressed and as more information was gathered to undermine the assertions in the FISA applications, investigators did not reassess the information supporting probable cause.
The Inspector General found the FBI made 17 significant errors and omissions in the case. Here's one of the worst. Let's flash back to January 2017. Location, Washington, D.C., the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. The FBI and Justice Department get a second FISA search warrant on Carter Page. Like the first, it's based on information in the Steele dossier. A few days later, at the FBI's Washington field office, there's a major development. For the first time, agents interviewed someone identified only as the primary subsource. He's the person who gave Steele the information in the dossier. Did the source confirm the dossier? No. The IG report states the primary subsource says there is zero corroboration of the information in the dossier.
So in January 2017, the person who did all the assembling of the information for the now famous Steele dossier tells the FBI, I disavow everything in there. Now, what should happen? Timeout? Let's reassess? Maybe we got this wrong? What would you hope to happen? That the FBI would slow down because this is the outcome determinative document that's just had a hole blown through it. They don't slow down. They use the document they now know to be a bunch of garbage twice more to get a warrant against Carter Page.
In January, after the election, the entire case collapsed when the principal source says, I never told Steele this stuff. And the question really is, what was the agenda after the election that kept them pressing ahead after their case collapsed? This is the President of the United States.
That's precisely why the FBI didn't close the case. Spying on Page allowed the FBI to continue spying on Team Trump. The FBI's investigation was dishonest and illegal from the get-go. The FISA warrants were fraudulently obtained. In fact, when the FISA court found out it had been deceived by the FBI, it banned every single FBI employee who had anything to do with the Carter Page FISAs from working on future FISA cases. Of course, that is no consolation to the hundreds of people from Carter Page to Team Trump who were illegally spied upon by the FBI. This is John Spiropoulos reporting.